What's up? My name is Evgeny and in this video we're talking about arrays. So let's not wait and start right now. What is an array? An array is a fixed-length sequential collection of elements of the same data type. Why do we need arrays? Arrays are useful when we need a fixed-size collection of elements. Let's say we need a function that accepts a string with a maximum length of 255. We can take a string, check if its length is greater than 255 and truncate it to 255 characters. Or we can just accept an array of bytes with a length of 255. It's much easier. Okay, we are done with theoretical part and we can move on to practice. How to declare an array. To do this we need to write var array name length type. Each element in the array will be the type of the array type and each element will be equal to the zero value of its type. Let's say we need an array of 3 numbers. We can write var number3 int. Thus each element in numbers will be of type int and equals to 0, because 0 is zero value of an int. How to short declare an array. To do this we need to write array name, length, type, value 1, value 2 and so on. Each initialized element will be equal to the zero value of its type, and we can't write more elements than the length of the array. Let's say we need an array of 5 names. We can write names equals 5 strings using John Michael. Another 2 elements will be empty strings. We can see this in the console. How to short declare an array with indexes. To do this we need to write array name equals length type index 1 value 1 index 2 value 2 and so on. Each initialized element will be equal to the zero value of its type, and we can't put an index greater than the length of the array minus 1. Let's say we need an array of 4 numbers. We can write numbers semicolon equals 4 int 0 semicolon 37 2 semicolon 5. This means that element at index 0 will be 37 and element at index 2 will be 5. Another 2 elements will be zeros. But while we write 0, let's talk about how arrays work under the hood. All types have their own fixed length. As an example, for int it's 64 bits on a 64-bit machine. So if we write var number 1 int equals 0 and var number 2 int equals 1 million, then their own length will be the same, because they are the same type. All arrays have their own pointer to the beginning of the array. For a simple example, let's say the beginning of the array numbers equals 3 int 1 to 3 is 53. Now we know that the array starts at 53 and the length of each array element is 64. So we can say that the first element in the array is at position 53. The second at position 117, and the third at position 181. This means we now have the formula beginning plus index multiplied by length equals position. So to get the position of the first element, we just calculate 53 plus 0 multiplied by 64, and it's equals 53. And this is position of the first element. Let's say we want the third element. Its index is 2. To get it we need to calculate 53 plus 2 multiplied by 64, and it equals 181. And this is the position of the third element. This is why an array indexing starts at 0 and why all operations in an array performed by a fixed time. While it's hard to think that start at 0, but after a while you will automatically think so. How to get an array element. To get an element at index n, you need to write array name n. N cannot be greater than array length minus 1, since it is the last index in the array. Let's say we have an array of 3 numbers. Numbers equals 3 int 1 to 3. We want to get the element at index 1. To do this we need to write numbers 1 and it's 2. How to change element in an array. To change the element at index n to the value v, you need to write array name n equals v. and cannot be greater than length minus 1, since it is the last index in the array, and the type of v must be the same type as the array type. Let's say we have an array of two names. Names equals to strings Use and John. We want to change the element at index 1 to Mikhail. To do this, we need to write names 1 equal Mikhail. And we have John and Mikhail. Golang features. Arrays with different lengths are different types in Golang. Therefore, I am obliged to determine the length of the array in its type, for example, in a function argument. This is not the case in other languages. So, that's all I wanted to say about arrays. In the next video we will talk about slices. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and see you in the next video.